Alright guys, in this video I have a 2014 Kia Forte, and the issue with this one is that the reverse camera doesn't work. So we're going to go through the process of determining what it could be. Could it be from the reverse switch onto the transmission, or is it maybe the audio unit, or is it the camera in the back? So what we're going to do is verify the customer concern, and we're going to put it in reverse. And as you can tell, there is no reaction from the audio unit. So now we got to determine what is going on. So I'm going to pause you guys. I'm going to bring you guys in the back, and we're going to go verify some checks at the camera. And then if all that's good, then we're going to come up and we're going to verify some stuff at the audio unit. I want to try avoid taking this area apart if I don't have to. So that's why we're going to start back at the camera. Alright, so on the Forte with the camera issue, there's actually two things that have to be verified in order for your camera to operate when you put your shifter in reverse. Now, I'm going to try my best to go over the wiring diagram with you guys and show you guys what needs to be done. First, I got the wiring diagram just for the the backup camera. So if you look at the wiring diagram, you will see that I have a 2-door model, a 4-door model, and a 5-door model. I have the 4-door model, so we're going to use the middle diagram. Now, as you can tell, the power and ground for your camera actually comes straight from the audio unit. So what we're going to be doing is checking for a power and a ground onto the audio, coming out of the audio unit all the way back at the camera, and we're going to be going straight to the camera for that. Now, the voltage that comes out of the rear view camera is roughly about 6.5 to 7.5 volts. So if you're expecting to see 12 volts, you don't expect to see that, because it's just going to throw you guys for a loop. I'm thinking that there is a voltage issue. So we either get 6.5 or 7.5 volts, and if we don't have that, well, then there's an issue with our power supply. And same thing with the ground. If we don't have a ground, well, then there's an issue with the ground supply. But everything does come out of the audio unit. So this diagram is actually pretty incomplete. Okay, there's actually a little bit more that is involved when you put your car in reverse, and I'm going to show you guys that too. And that is with this one. Now, this is for your backup lamps. So what we are going to be looking for is also, I'll try to show this to you guys. I brought a highlighter. So what we're going to be doing is coming here, and we're going to be tracing to see where our power flow is. Now, this is an automatic vehicle, so we're going to go and we're going to trace here. We're going to come all the way down, because if I come over here, this branch right here is actually for a manual transmission. So we actually have to come down on start input. Okay? And we are without the smart key, just in case you guys are wondering. So we're on this side. Okay? Now what we're going to do is, because it comes out of our signal 2, and then it transfers all the way over back up into our engine room fuse box relay. Okay? So we're going to come all the way up, and we're going to come over. Alright? So now from there, where does it go? Well, it comes through this backup lamp fuse, which is 10 amps. And then it comes through this green-black wire. And it comes down into a splice connector that's called the EM11. This guy is located into your kick panel over here. Well, you guys can't really see, it's so dark, but anyway, it's down inside of here. And then it comes all the way over to this guy, and it hits a splice, and then it does this splice actually goes to your backup lamps or your rear combination lamps. So there's a very, very quick way to check all this circuit on this side. Oh, sorry. To check all this area over here, there's a very, very quick way. It's just take your shifter, throw it in reverse, and see if your backup lamps work. If your backup lamps work, that means that you do have a reverse that is getting through to this side in order to power up your lamps. So that would mean that your issue would more than likely be onto the audio side, which is over here. So we're going to come up here. We do not have navigation, which is this guy. So, but we do have audio, and ours is with UVO. So then we come up to our UVO, and that is basically our power supply for our rear view camera. So if I do not have 12 volts that hits inside of the back of my radio, my camera is not going to work. So the next step that we're going to do is go in the back, come onto the connector at the camera, and we're going to be looking for camera power. And like I said, we should be seeing roughly about 6.5 to 7.5 volts. And if we have nothing coming out of that, then we have to come up to our audio unit and we have to check pin 19 on connector M09B. And we are also going to have to take and check our connector on pin 7, which is going to be our output power for our camera, which is on connector M09B also. Sorry about that. So those are the two things we're going to do, and at the same time we'll check our grounds. But typically there's never really a ground issue with these. It's always a power issue. So we'll go see if we have our power and our ground, and if we have that, that means that the camera's defective. If we don't have that, that means we're going to have to trace back and go check our audio unit. So I'm going to pause you guys, and I will bring you guys back when I have everything set up in the back. Alright, I'm going to try to get you guys focused in on this. And we are looking at pin 3, which is a red wire. Pin 3, which is a red. So here's the red wire, and I have nothing on that one, as you can tell. So now we're gonna have to trace up to the radio and see what's going on. Well, I'm gonna try to give you guys a decent video on the radio removal. And Kia clips are very, very tight, so you have to be, I wouldn't say extremely careful, but don't be scared to force a little bit on them. And we're gonna undo our plugs. Just because I don't want this guy in the way. It's scratching up all the trim. Audio unit. Very good. I'm gonna go get a connector pin out for us. Alright, so I went and got us a diagram here. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Take the light away for a minute. And if we come on to our other diagram, which is right here, we are looking at M09B with UVO, and we are looking at pin 19. And our M09B is this connector right here. And I'll tell you right now that there's an error into the system already. Because when I come down onto my M09B, my pin 19, it says it's my auxiliary and USB jack. So that's not right. When obviously we see it right here as it being our 12 volt feed into the radio when we go into reverse. So they say we are supposed to have a green with black, and let's see if we can find that. And we don't even have that onto this connector. So what are we going to do now when service information is not good? Well, we're going to have to test and see when we put in reverse. Or we can go pin in blue, orange, pink. So now I'm going to have to pause you guys. I'm going to have to try to see if I can get the proper wiring diagrams, because this is not working at all. And I will be right back. Alright, so the wires corresponding on the connector are actually the right color. The issue is actually with the connector pinout itself, where it says black orange, sorry. It actually should say gray black. So I am onto my gray black wire right here. I'm not damaging anything. The wiring is smaller than the connector. So now what we're going to do is take and plug this guy onto the ground, which is my pin 24. And what I'm going to do is just switch it into reverse. And as you can see, when I switch it into reverse, it lights up. So that means I have my 12 volts going in. Now the reason that I took and I'm using a load is because I didn't want the radio in place. But now I'm going to actually have to put the radio in place in order to see if I got my 7 volts coming out of my radio. So that's what we're going to do next. Alright, so we had our 12 volts, and now we're going to check to see if we have our 7 volts. I already plugged it up. I will plug it into my pin number 7 onto the back, and I should see roughly about 7 volts, and as you can tell, I have nothing. So my auto unit is defective. Actually, I'll put it in reverse, it might actually help. There we go. Alright, so I have 0 volts coming out, which tells me that my auto unit is defective and needs to be replaced. And that's it. Alright, so last little part to this video is going to be the replacement of the radio. And I left everything open for you guys. And I just wanted to show you guys that I still am hooked on to my red wire, which is pin number 7 coming out of my M09B. Now, right now the car is off. Okay, and I am not in reverse. So what I am going to do is take and turn the car on. And as you can see, my voltage is staying the same. Now when I take and I move it to reverse, I have 6.6 volts. Now remember, before I told you guys it should be roughly about 6.5, 7.5 volts coming out of the radio to your camera. Now, as you can tell, with this one I do have 6.5 volts. And the camera is now working. So, with that being said, I will leave this video as is. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you guys next time.